It is a significant opening.
This could be the offset chamber.
Another anomaly is this one in the northern tip of the swamp.
This could be the Jack Adams box.
Someone purposely sank a ship deep in the Oak Island swamp just to bury a secret. That's right, the swamp wasn't just murky water, it was built to hide something, and now hidden tunnels and a majestic-looking gem are finally unveiling the truth. Tune in, because what they just found beneath the swamp rewrites history. The secret tunnels beneath Oak Island. Treasure hunters have been obsessed with Oak Island since the late 1700s. Folks back then found a pit that seemed man-made, like someone had gone through a lot of trouble to bury something important. Ever since, search teams have been bringing in machines, maps, theories, and dreams of striking gold. But treasure isn't the only thing that's kept them digging. It's the mystery. It's the weirdness of the place. Traps that flood when you get too deep, stone markers with strange writing, cursed whispers, and now hidden tunnels that might have been here way before anyone even knew about the money pit. What they just uncovered changes everything. The swamp is where things are heating up right now. For years, it just seemed like a gross, muddy mess. But people started noticing strange things, like rocks laid out in patterns or wooden pieces deep in the muck that looked way too even to be natural.
There's only so much you can see between the clay, the water, but it's real. And that's the important part. There's a wood structure down there.
That's when the idea started growing. What if someone built this swamp on purpose? What if it was hiding something? Turns out they might have been onto something huge. The most recent digs in the swamp area have uncovered narrow paths below the mud. These aren't natural waterways. They're shaped like someone carved them out. Straight lines, sharp turns, even signs that walls or coverings once lined them. That's not something the Earth just does. That's planning. That's human hands doing something sneaky long ago. Some researchers now believe that a ship was sunk there, not by accident, but with a purpose. The idea is wild, but the clues add up. There's been talk of wood planks, metal pieces, even iron spikes found in weird places down there. Maybe someone used the ship to carry something valuable to the island. Maybe they buried it right under the swamp, then let nature do the rest. And if those swamp paths link up to other tunnels, that changes everything. The tunnels might lead under the island, stretching from one end to the other. Perfect for moving heavy stuff, like treasure, without anyone seeing. And if that's true, the money pit might have just been a distraction this whole time. A big, expensive decoy. One of the biggest finds recently isn't just in the swamp, though. It's a gemstone, pulled from Lot 5, a spot that's already seen its share of curious digs.
This could be that box.
Would a metal box give you that anomaly?
This stone isn't some common piece of jewelry. It's fancy, maybe even royal. Experts have taken a look and say it could have belonged to someone rich, someone powerful. But what were they doing on Oak Island? There's always been whispers about secret groups connected to the island. Some point to the Knights Templar, those warrior monks from the Middle Ages who got rich and powerful and then were hunted down. The theory says they escaped across the ocean with their treasures and secrets, hiding them where no one would think to look. Oak Island fits that story almost too well. The Templars were clever. They knew how to build, how to hide things, how to protect what mattered to them. If they really were here and they left behind treasures or sacred objects, then this gemstone might be a clue. A sign that they did more than pass through. They stopped, they buried, and they made sure no one would find it easily. Others throw the Freemasons into the ring. Another secret group with symbols, codes, and a long history of being tied to strange things. The stone could match their kind of relics, and the swamp with its weird geometry and odd shapes might be part of a larger message, one hidden in plain sight. But then a new clue changes everything. Buried clues, hidden plans. Then there's always the explorer angle. What if someone from Europe, someone noble or royal, showed up way back before history books even mention Oak Island? What if they carried something important, gold, jewels, scrolls, and needed a place to stash it? The gemstone could have slipped from a pouch or been part of a bigger treasure chest. Either way, its presence changes things. Back to the tunnels. The dig team may have found more than just mud and wood. Recent drill work might have hit something solid. Not a rock, but a man-made wall. Some believe it could be a chamber, an actual room under the ground, hidden away and untouched for centuries. Think about that. A sealed space full of who knows what. Coins, weapons, holy relics. The possibility is enough to send chills. For all we know, the real treasure has been sitting in that chamber this whole time. And every dig, every drill that missed it by a few feet was just another close call. This changes the whole hunt. For decades, the focus has been the money pit. That spot has taken more money and effort than anywhere else on the island. People brought cranes, dug tunnels, even built dams to try and beat the water traps. But maybe that's exactly what someone wanted. Maybe the real action was happening elsewhere, hidden by all the noise. Lot 5 and the swamp are telling a different story now. One where treasure was moved, hidden, and protected not by chance, but with a full-on strategy. And if this new theory is right, then the pit was never the goal. It was bait. That brings everything into a new light. Every map, every clue, every weird marking on a rock, it could all be part of the real path to the truth. And the more the team digs, the clearer the picture gets.
It's another interesting stuff coming out of here.
Right.
I think if you guys could move these tree trunks, what would you use, like a backhoe?
I'm not using this.
The Knights Templar theory just keeps getting stronger. They weren't just about swords and shields, they had money, documents, secrets that could shake things up. If they made it to Oak Island, they would have made sure no one could just stumble across their stuff. Tunnels make sense. Flood traps, even better. A swamp with hidden paths, that's next level. Now imagine what could be in that vault. Religious items that history says vanished. Texts that never made it into any book. Even things tied to stories like the Holy Grail or the Ark. Sounds like something out of a movie, but every year Oak Island gives up just enough to make you think it might be real. And those flood tunnels. People used to think they were just weird accidents. Now it's clear someone built them on purpose, designed them to fill with water and ruin any digging. That takes planning, time, and serious knowledge. Whoever did it wasn't messing around. The island itself seems to be part of the puzzle. From stone markers with symbols to tree alignments that match star maps, there's something bigger going on. It's not just about treasure anymore. It's about a message, a design, a plan made long ago. Every find leads to more questions. Who were these people? Why Oak Island? What were they hiding? And most importantly, did they leave a way to unlock it all? There are theories stacked on theories. Some think the island hides ancient scrolls from lost civilizations. Others believe it could hold proof of contact between Old World sailors and North America long before Columbus. Then there are the ones who say the treasure was cursed, guarded by traps, disasters, and bad luck. One thing's clear, the island doesn't give up its secrets easily. Every time someone gets close, something happens. Tunnels flood, equipment breaks, nature fights back. That's led to talk of a curse, and honestly, it's hard to ignore. Too many people have spent fortunes chasing this thing and walked away with nothing. But now, the tides might be turning. With these new tunnels showing up and more clues popping out of the swamp and Lot 5, the pieces are starting to fit. And if the team can connect the gemstone to a person or group, it might open the door to everything. And just when things slow down, the swamp gives them more. A ship, a gemstone, a secret past. Think about it. What if this isn't just a treasure hunt? What if it's a story, one someone wrote in secret using rocks and mud and tunnels instead of paper? A story meant to be solved only by those who could see the pattern.
Do I believe that there's treasure at the bottom of the guard shaft? I'll be honest, I'm hopeful, but I just want to get underground the money pit.
If that's true, then the team on Oak Island isn't just digging, they're reading. And that's what makes this whole thing so addicting. It's not just about finding gold, it's about figuring out a mystery that's been waiting for the right eyes, the right minds, the right moment. You've been digging and poking around the same muddy patch for what feels like 1,000,000 years, hoping to find even the tiniest clue. You've got legends flying around, spooky old maps, and whispers of gold, gems, and mystery buried under dirt and water. Most folks would have given up by now, tossed their shovels, and called it quits. But the Oak Island crew, they stuck with it. And now, it's starting to pay off, big time. The latest buzz around Oak Island is that something deep, deep under the swamp is finally making itself known. For years, people thought the swamp was just a messy roadblock, muddy, wet, nothing too exciting. But little by little, it's been dropping hints. Not just strange rocks or old wood. We're talking about hidden tunnels, mysterious pathways, and now even a gemstone that looks like it came from a king's crown. Season 12, Episode 15 dropped some of the most insane details yet. It didn't just move the needle, it shoved it all the way across the board. This might be the most jaw-dropping episode they've ever put out. Everything is starting to link up. Every random clue, every forgotten artifact, and every strange structure they've pulled from the muck. Let's break it down piece by piece. First, there's the swamp. Everyone's been side-eyeing that thing for ages, but what they're finding now changes everything. There's talk about weird lines under the swamp, lines that don't belong in nature, lines that look straight and measured. That's not how nature works. Nature's all about random twists and turns. These lines, they look planned, like someone carved them on purpose. Some are saying it could have been a ship. Not just any ship though, something that got sunk on purpose. Imagine that, someone way back in time guiding a loaded down boat right into that swamp, letting it settle under the mud, then walking away. Not because they made a mistake, but because they wanted to hide something. Maybe treasure, maybe tools, maybe something even wilder. This changes the game. If true, it means most of the digging so far has been in the wrong spot. All the fuss about the money pit, that might have been one big distraction. The real action could be under that soggy patch that's been ignored or dismissed for years. And now, with modern tools and deeper digging, the truth is starting to bubble up to the surface. Wooden planks, rusty ship spikes, even old tools have turned up in the swamp already. All of them are signs of serious human activity and none of it recent. These aren't things that got washed up by chance. They were left there, maybe hidden there, a long time ago. Then there's Lot 5. That piece of land is turned into a hotspot for weird finds, ancient relics, bizarre stone formations, and now a gemstone that has treasure hunters holding their breath. It's not just shiny, it's not just old. It looks like it meant something, like it came from someone important. And if that's true, it could mean that the person who left it was guarding something even bigger. People have been throwing around the idea that the Knights Templar might have been involved in Oak Island's past. Not because they love a good mystery, but because of how organized everything seems. The way the tunnels are laid out, the clues hidden underground, the booby traps that were built to throw people off. It's not just smart, it's methodical. That kind of planning doesn't happen by accident. So here's the real question. Did the Knights Templar really bury something on Oak Island? Or is it all just one big distraction? Drop a comment, like, and subscribe for more.